Yo guys, I've got a spark which I'm going to use to ignite the fire for another video here on the channel. Now eBay is a huge internet site that almost everyone has seen or at least heard about before. I mean, come on, even Transformers from another planet have heard of the damn site.
How'd you know about his glasses?
eBay.
I can show just about anyone the eBay logo and they will know instantly what it is I'm talking about. Therefore, I will spare you the introduction of what eBay actually is and get straight to the point of this video. For that being, eBay is both the best and the worst source for buying Skylanders online at the moment. So without further ado, let's roll that intro and get into the video at hand. Now, finding Skylanders online is no difficult task. You can use Skylanders character list or Amazon for example, but those sources aren't as reliable for finding Skylanders as a massive site like eBay, where you can find just about any Skylander you're looking for, including chase variants, just not at the right price unfortunately. Businesses often use eBay to push their products, however the site is filled mostly with independent sellers, which are using the site to make some money selling their old items. Because of this, certain individuals can be quite greedy and sell Skylanders for ridiculous prices. I personally would never get hasty and even look twice at buying items for prices like that. Instead, what eBay demands is patience. Wait for a bundle to come around that piques your interest. Some sellers will conduct research and learn about how rare and expensive the characters they're selling truly are, so then they will put them up for a price approximate to their value. It's why with a simple Google search you'll learn about how ridiculously priced Robo is, and then turn around and try to sell them for £350. However, those who don't conduct their research will often just throw random Skylanders into a job lot together, not knowing the rarity and value of specific figurines within it, and lose a lot of money they could have earned for that one figurine alone. This bundle you see on screen before you is the perfect example of that. They've clearly just taken all of their figures and thrown them into one large bundle, when the Dark characters and Swap Force for the PlayStation 3 alone would have netted them anywhere between £30 to £40. The PS3 versions of each game in of itself could fetch a hefty price. There are some really great figurines here too, like Legendary Bouncer, as well as the rarest Skylander of them all, a Series 1 Hicks with both arms and her head still attached. Through research, you'll even figure out that Swap Force and Trap Team on the PS4 is really very expensive, leading to ridiculous prices for those starter packs alone. It can be said the same for the Xbox One versions of the game as well. So my key points of advice would be, when buying, to be patient and wait for a good bundle, so you can buy at once an entire handful of figurines you need, and this will even save you some shipping costs as cherry on top of the cake, because you can just have the entire job lot shipped to you rather than individual figurines all shipped at an individual price. But when selling, conduct research to find out if specific characters are rarer and more expensive than others, so then you can proceed to sell them individually for a higher asking price. Yes, it frustrates us as fans and collectors of these figurines. People desperately want a Robo, but it's hard to get your hands on him when he's going for upwards of £300. But it gets you more money in the long term, and at the end of the day, this is a selfish world, there's no denying it, so it's always best to do right by yourself. Otherwise, how can you do right by others in the long term without doing right by yourself first? You gotta pay those bills somehow, am I right? So just hold on to them Robos. Give it 10 years and you'll be able to use one of them to buy you a house. And don't sell Skylanders at this price. I simply typed Skylanders into eBay's search page, looked up the highest price plus postage and packaging, and came across this ridiculous listing. Yep, don't think anyone's going to be gullible enough to buy that anytime soon. Then again, there are some pretty stupid people out there, so you never know. To add insult to injury, even when you see a Skylander listing for a decent price, 9 times out of 10 it will be an auction, so other buyers will swoop in and raise up for price or straight up snag for price from you at the last minute with the highest bid like a vulture. It's unfortunate how these items can only go to the highest bidder, so if you don't wind up being the highest bidder you get screwed after waiting several days for the auction to end. Those are always the most disappointing moments, I'm sure you all can relate. eBay to some also comes across as a source of unreliability. eBay has terms and conditions sellers must follow to be completely truthful with the items in which they are selling. When buying an item on eBay, even if the seller isn't accepting returns or refunds, you can ask eBay to step in and sort out the refund for you if the item doesn't match the description. So in other words, read the description and ensure it's what you're looking for. If not, then don't risk buying the item, and if it is, you wind up buying the item and it's not as described, you can always get eBay to step in, ensuring that you aren't left out of pocket. This ensures that eBay truly is a reliable source of buying Skylanders. In the case of certain Skylanders, it's the only source. In the UK and Australia, we have alternatives. There is a chain of mainstream retailers which sell secondhand electronics including Skylanders, known as CEX. These prices are based on research teams that find the best price to sell their products at, so Robo and other rare characters alike will be sold at higher prices, but it can sometimes still make for a better price than just eBay alone. I remember once visiting a local CEX, not having anything better to do and finding a rare spotlight for only £12. At that moment in time, I started squealing internally. There is nothing which measures up to the feeling of finding a rare Skylander out in the wild, but word here is rare. Don't get your hopes up, because that won't happen often. I feel very blessed to have been as lucky as I was in the days of Skylanders hunting. Pawn shops and pre-owned game stores are also a great place to find pre-owned Skylanders, as they buy just about anything from customers and sell it on, including Skylanders. However, not everywhere else is as fortunate as that. Sure, Americans still have those previously mentioned pawn shops and pre-owned game stores, but they don't have a large nationwide chain like CEX, which guarantees Skylanders almost every time you visit one of their stores. Hence the need for eBay. It's just given the price of Skylanders sometimes, despite almost always having exactly what it is you're looking for. It doesn't guarantee you won't have to start a second mortgage to complete your Skylanders collection. Now, with that all being said and done, this video is coming to an end, but before that happens, I first want to thank all my Blazing Knights and Scorpion Dragons whose support allow me to continue pumping out quality videos like this one. Without them, this all wouldn't be possible. Therefore, I genuinely appreciate every last one of you from the bottom of my heart. If you enjoyed this video, I have others you can watch by clicking on screen now, and you can even subscribe by pressing the button on the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next one, but until that moment arises, peace!